My parents always had a way of making me feel like I owed them something, even long after I became successful on my own. I never minded helping out. After all, they raised me, supported me when they could, and I wanted to show gratitude. But this time, they crossed a line so absurd that I still can't believe it happened. It started with an email. It wasn't a warm hello or a casual family update. It was a list, titled, Our Anniversary Gift List. I thought it was a joke at first. But as I read, my jaw dropped. A $20,000 Mediterranean cruise. A luxury sedan. An emerald bracelet for mom. The total was over $80,000. I remember blinking at the screen, waiting for the punchline. It never came. I called my mom, half laughing. I asked if she'd sent it by mistake. She said no, she'd sent it to me, my 2 siblings, and my aunt. She explained how their 35th anniversary was coming up, and how this list represented their dream celebration. I asked, so we're all chipping in, right? There was a short pause, and then she said, very matter-of-factly, you make the most money. You can handle it yourself. Her tone wasn't asking. It was demanding. Like it was obvious that I'd just foot the bill because my career turned out better than my siblings. I felt my stomach twist. I love giving gifts, but this wasn't love. This was entitlement wrapped in family guilt. I tried to keep my cool. I said, Mom, that's a huge amount. Maybe we can all pitch in something small instead. She sighed, like I was a child who didn't get it. Stop being stingy. You can afford it. We deserve something nice after everything we've done. That last part hit me. Everything we've done. As if raising your own kid was a favor that required repayment with interest. My dad didn't say much during the call, but I could hear him in the background saying, we raised a successful one, might as well enjoy it. I ended the call politely and told them I'd think about it. For 2 days, I wrestled with it. On one hand, they were my parents. On the other, they were acting like spoiled customers, not family. My siblings texted me separately. My brother joked, good luck, man. Mom said you got this. My sister didn't even reply. She knew better than to get involved. I finally decided to go along with it, at least for now. I booked the reservations. I called the travel agent. I put down deposits on the cruise and started the car payment process. I even picked out the emerald bracelet myself. Every swipe of the card made me angrier, but I wanted to see how far they'd go. Maybe, I thought, when they saw how big the numbers were, they'd realize how ridiculous it was. Nope. Instead, my mom bragged to her friends. She sent photos of the cruise ship and told everyone, our son is taking care of us. I heard from an uncle that she'd even started making additional requests, like wanting to extend the tour for another week. That was it. The last ounce of guilt in me disappeared. Something inside me snapped that night. I wasn't just angry, I was disappointed. I had worked my entire life to earn respect, not to be treated like an ATM. I decided it was time they learned that respect works both ways. So, I made a few calls. I canceled the cruise reservation. I called the dealership and stopped the car payment. I contacted the jeweler and voided the bracelet order. Every transaction was reversed, and every confirmation email that came in felt like taking a deep, cleansing breath. I wasn't being cruel, I was setting boundaries. 2 days later, my mom called, her voice dripping with excitement. We can't wait to see the tickets. I said calmly, oh, there won't be any tickets. She went silent. What do you mean? She snapped. I told her I canceled everything. She exploded. She said I'd embarrassed them, that people were expecting photos, that she'd already told everyone. My dad took the phone and started shouting about disrespect. I let them rant. When they finally stopped, I said something I'd been holding in for years. You taught me to work hard and earn everything I have. But you also taught me to respect people who respect me back. You don't get to guilt me into buying love. She hung up on me. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel bad. I felt free. For a week, there was silence. No calls, no texts. Then, out of nowhere, my sister sent a screenshot from our family group chat. Mom had posted a long message about how money changes people, and how success makes kids forget their parents. I almost laughed. She forgot to mention that she'd tried to treat her child like a personal bank account. A few days later, I decided to send one final message, not out of anger, but clarity. I wrote, I love you both. But love isn't a transaction. If you ever want to spend time together because you miss me, I'll always be here. But if it's about what I can buy, I'm out. My dad read it and didn't respond. My mom left it on, seen. That was months ago. We've spoken a few times since, cautiously, politely. But something changed. The entitlement is gone. The demands stopped. When they call now, they actually ask how I'm doing. They talk to me like a person again. And that's when I realized something powerful. Sometimes, standing up for yourself isn't about revenge in the traditional sense. It's about teaching people what your respect is worth. By canceling those reservations, I didn't just save $80,000, I saved my self-worth. If you've ever had someone try to guilt you into something you don't owe, remember this: setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's self-respect. People who truly care about you will respect those boundaries. The ones who don't, well, cancel their reservations. If this story made you feel something, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments if you've ever had to teach someone a lesson in respect. Because sometimes, karma doesn't come naturally, sometimes, you have to make the call yourself.